Hey dude, do you remember Armored Saint? They came out with their debut album, The March of the Saint, in 1984. One of Armored Saint's all-time most popular songs, Can You Deliver, was on that album. And that title is an interesting one because it asks a really good question. Can you deliver? What does it mean to ask the question, can you deliver? And even broader than that, for the person on the receiving end, what does it mean to be delivered? Those are actually some really powerful spiritual questions, and we're going to answer them from God's Word, man. I'm excited to share it with you. And it all starts right now. Rocking you up for Jesus Christ with classic-style hard rock music and practical Bible teaching. Let's define this word deliver. It means to make good on a promise, to keep your word. It can also mean to rescue, as in you were trapped, you were enslaved, right? You were held hostage, and someone came and delivered you, i.e. they rescued from that place of bondage. Who cares what a person says if they don't keep their word? Who cares what promises a person makes to you if they don't deliver on that promise, right? Well, that applies to God as well. What point would there be in trusting Him and following Him if He didn't deliver on His word? The awesome truth, of course, is that God always delivers on His word. He is 100% trustworthy. Both the Word, the Bible, and history are filled with testimony to this reality. Numbers chapter 23, verse 19 says, God is not a man, so He does not lie. He is not a human, so He does not change His mind. Has He ever spoken and failed to act? Has He ever promised and not carried it out? I love that statement. God is not a human being. He's not a man that He would lie or change His mind. You see, one of the attributes of God is that He's eternal. When He spoke the universe into existence, from that very moment, He already knew the end of the story. For example, when Jesus says, never will I leave you, never will I forsake you, one of the reasons He can say that with such confidence is He's already seen the end of the story, and He knows that He never does leave you or forsake you. When you know the end from the beginning, there's no need to try to change the story or manipulate anything, because you already know all things. And that is God. He is not a human being. He's not trying to impress anybody. He's not trying to manipulate a story. He's supreme. He's sovereign over all things. Beyond that, it's not even in His character to tell a falsehood. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. He's saying, this is who I am. Falsehood isn't even in me. Hebrews chapter 6, verse 18. In Hebrews chapter 6 here, the writer is referencing God's interactions with Abraham. And he said, God has given both His promise and His oath. These two things are unchangeable because, here it is again, it is impossible for God to lie. Therefore, we who have fled to Him for refuge can have great confidence as we hold to the hope that lies before us. These promises that God made were in reference to His plan of salvation, that He would make a way. And in this case, in Hebrews, he's looking back and saying God kept that promise. He sent Jesus. He made a way for us to come into relationship with Him and be forgiven. God delivered on His promise. He made good on His word. In Isaiah chapter 59, verse 1, Israel is facing a challenge they faced many times like this, where they were threatened from without with issues or enemies, and they were struggling. And the prophet says, surely the arm of the Lord is not too short to save, nor His ear too dull to hear. There's a little sarcasm going on here. He's saying, listen, friends, yeah, I know you're facing problems, but remember who we're referencing here. This is the God who spoke the universe into existence. His arm isn't too short to save. His ear isn't too dull to hear your prayers. He loves you. He's never failed to keep a promise, and He won't now. He is with you. The Bible tells us that in Galatians chapter 4, verse 4, that God sent Jesus. The word sent there carries the idea of a mission. He didn't just leave heaven and come down here to hang out. He came here with a laser-focused mission to leave heaven, put on flesh, dwell among us, and appease all of the righteous requirements of God's law, so that He could then be the perfect Lamb of God, the perfect sacrifice for sin, atoning for your sin and mine and all of the sin of the world for all who would put their hope and trust in Him. There are over 300 prophecies in the Old Testament that speak of the coming Messiah and what He would do and what He would achieve. They're all promises from God. These things are coming, and guess what? God made good on all of them. Isaiah 53:5 is one of those promises, and this was written 700 years before Christ walked the earth. And the prophet Isaiah said, the punishment that brought us, that is all of us who have trusted Christ and are in the family of God, the punishment that brought us peace with God was placed on Him. He took the fall for us. He took the punishment we deserved for our sin in His own body. One more of an endless line of scriptures that we could look at that just affirms and proves God's trustworthiness and that He delivers on all of His promises. Colossians chapter 1, verse 13. For he, that is God the Father, he rescued, another word for rescued, he delivered, right? He brought us out of brokenness and bondage, and we're going to see here, dominion. He rescued us. Who's us? All of us who put our faith in Jesus Christ. He has rescued us from the dominion of darkness, and he brought us into the kingdom of the Son he loves. All of us who put our faith in Jesus have experienced the deliverance of God through faith in Jesus, right? We belong to the kingdom of the Son. Right over here, man, is my parody of this song, and it's all about what we've just talked about here, that God is an awesome delivering God. If you've never turned away from your old life and made a decision to follow Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, man, reach out to me in the comments. And right now, man, click on this link, check out my parody of Can You Deliver? May it rock you up for Jesus. Catch you in the next video.